Shall we start, sir?
Sure. We are ready. Good to go. Yeah.
So, very good evening to you all. Shri Kumarswami Mahavidyalaya Ausa, District Latur in Maharashtra State, is organized a world record series too. Today there is 281st day of the launch series, and the keynote speaker for today's session is on dais Honorable, our heartiest and dear keynote speaker, Mr. Krishna, sir. So first of all, I welcome to you, sir, for the session. I welcome the chief organizer, the ideal principal of Shri Kumarswami Mahavidyalaya Ausa, Honorable M. Ambedkar, sir. Also welcomes faculty members of my college and our sweet dear participants. The topic for today's presentation is Win with Small Things that Delivers Big Result. Now this topic is going to present, as I have mentioned, the keynote speaker, Honorable Mr. Krishna, sir. It's my pleasure to introduce today's keynote speaker, Mr. Krishna, sir, who is ethical influence practitioner as well as personal sales trainer and also a coach, who is from Growthaspire, Bangalore. So with this brief introduction, now I request you, sir, please start your presentation on the topic, Win with Small Things that Delivers Big Result. You are most welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Prashant. Thank you so much, Dr. Bedkar. Just want to know if you can see my slide, just say yes, and then I would go ahead and start, sir. Okay, can you see my slides?
Yes, sir, it's perfect.
Yes, first of all,
you proceed.
Wonderful. So first of all, welcome and very, very happy and excited to have you all here. I'd like to start this session with two sweet little words in English. Thank you so much. And we are starting the session now. If you can see me and hear my voice very clearly, give me a yes in the chat box, please.
Yes, sir, yes.
Wonderful. Clear. Great, very good.
Yes,
great. Yes. Let's start this. The topic is about win with small changes that deliver big result. And that's going to be for 45 minutes, and then we can go into the question and answer section. Once again, I would like to say thank you so much, Doctor, for this wonderful opportunity to be part of this World Record Daily Webinar series. And this is from Cialdini Institute. But before this explanation of the Cialdini Institute, can I request all of you to say, ready for a warm-up exercise? If you are ready, Prashant sir, say yes to me so that I can know we are ready. Wonderful. Now, can you tell me how many dots were there? Prashant sir, if you can read the chat, can I request everybody to put it on the chat and you can tell me what numbers are there, because I'm not able to see the chat. Once again, I'll show you, all of you, it's a warm-up exercise. How many dots are there on this? Any number you'd like to say? All of you say some number. Prashant sir, any number you see?
No, sir, no.
One dot. One more time I will show you. One more time I'll show you. Let's see how many people will say. Can you see some dots here? How many dots are there in this slide? Put some chat. Any number you can put, I would be very happy to know.
I think 41.
41. I know that it's very difficult to say this, but I'm going to give you one more choice, one more exercise. Prashant sir, now there was how many stars, how many dots were there? I'll be fair, I'll show you one more time. Okay, now tell me how many dots were there?
25 dots.
Okay, now tell me why you were able to say second time faster than the first time. Okay, what's the reason?
That dots are shown in a pair, sir.
Absolutely. What we are talking about, anything is organized, anything if you find as a pattern, it is easy for us to remember. That's what I'm going to say on this. With that thought, let me start this session. This is Krishna here. I've got 33 years of experience in sales management, and training. And 16 years I've been training. I would have trained about some 10,000 plus participants across some 3,380 plus companies, and participants are across the globe. That's a quick introduction for me. Let's get into quickly into the topic there. I'm also Cialdini's Institute founding member, accredited by the Cialdini Institute, and also ethical influence practitioner. I'll tell you what is this ethical influence practitioner later, but two promise that I want to make today to all of you. I promise you that those who are attending here, your time will be worth invested at the end of the session, you will say. And you'll also apply the learning to get the big results there. Now, one request to all of you, you can on your video because I'm scared of dark. In case if I want to interact, I don't want to see everywhere in dark. I want to see all of your faces there. So with that request, let me start. Dr. Robert Cialdini is considered as godfather of influence. He has written this book called as Influence, The Psychology of Persuasion, which has sold more than 7 million copies purchased across the world. Put together all books, it's about 12 million books that he has made the impact there. In fact, recently, there were 100 famous CEOs and entrepreneurs decided to find out what is the best book for anybody. And that book is about Influence, the Science and Practice by Dr. Robert Cialdini. And those jurors were Warren Buffett, Mark Cuban, Elon Musk, and Jeff Bezos there. Now, I'll also tell you something about why this book is so famous, why this institute is so famous. It's basically everything what it is done in this institute is based on science, ethics, and application. When I say science, it should have a case study, and it should be able to repeatably do that. That's the science. But the ethics is as important because ethics are not only important because it's an ethical approach helps you to do the right thing, and also because unethical approach will backfire you eventually. And finally, it's all about application. Anything if you learn, if you don't apply, information will not get transformation there. That's the science, ethics, and application there. Now, Cialdini Institute is also trusted by both the business and the educational institution like Stanford Business, Harvard University, World Economic Forum, and so many things like Coca-Cola, Google, and IBM, everything. Let me give you some idea about who are these people who are business leaders who are saying. I'm sure you know about Richard Branson. He said Robert Cialdini is the go-to expert in the field of influence, and his book should be there on every entrepreneur table. In fact, the Tony Robinson says Dr. Robert Cialdini work in the psychology of influence should be required reading for all business majors. In fact, I would say Gyu Kawasaki said Cialdini is the godfather of influence, and his book is guiding light of how to conduct business in many ways and how I live my life as well. One interesting topic that I want to say is about Warren Buffett says Influence is one of the best business books of all time. And the Tobias Lutke said Influence is 2 books that made him a billionaire. Then there must be something in this book. Not only about the business leader, Daniel Kahneman, who is called as the emeritus professor of the psychology, and he is a Nobel Prize winner, he said Robert Cialdini is the great observer. Richard Thaler, also a psychologist, a Nobel Prize winner, he said if the president had to have one advisor with him at all times, my nomination would be for Bob Cialdini, the world's most practical social psychologist and the master of influence. Now, I'm sure all of you have invested some time here and left a lot of work and come here and attending this session. And I'm sure I've also put some effort to prepare for this webinar for a long time and to give value. But what's going to be heart-burning for both of us is that once you attend this session, you pick up something, and if you don't implement it. My only request is, can I request all of you to commit and say, I'm going to implement whatever I learned here. If that's the case, I would be very happy if you could say to yourself, yes, I'm going to implement that. If you have done that, I would start with this. This topic is about small, big. That means the smallest change that you do to persuasive appeal that will produce the largest impact on persuasive goal. What is this meaning? When we get up in the morning, all of us are working towards how to get yes from other person for our request, which will meet our needs and wants. Once again, I say, all of us, when we get up in the morning, we always think about how to get yes from the other person to meet a request which will help us to meet our needs and wants. But the best thing is what we are talking here is when you do this approach of what I'm telling you, it does not require a lot of expense, a lot of time, a lot of effort. It's the best return on investment that you're doing. I only say you apply this and see what are phenomenal results that you're going to get of this. Now, what's this I'm talking about? You're going to learn not just about the principle, but how to engage them by making one small change in the word, a small change in the phrase, and something that is costless still produces a big return on that investment of time and energy. All that I'm going to say today is how can you get more yes from people so that your goals and needs are met there? Let's start with this. The first one, there are 7 key principles of the persuasion. What these 7 key principles? Reciprocity, liking, unity, social proof, authority, consistency, and scarcity. Based on what you want to achieve from the other person, use this principle, you will get more yes from the people. Let me give you some brief idea about what these principles are. Reciprocity means we say yes to people who give us first. So that's the reciprocity. Now, liking is we say yes to people whom we like. And the third one is we say yes to people who are one among us, is what we say. Social proof is what? We say yes to those who are around and like us to do what others are saying us to do. Authority is what? We say yes to people who are credible experts there. We say yes to people who are consistent, and we also say yes to people where there is something which is scarce. Now, how do you use this principle is what we are going to discuss there. Yeah. All of us, whether it is your family member, whether it is your colleagues, whether it is your business partners, whether it is your students, because I'm talking about here, all of us will say yes to you, not because you force them, not because you put pressure, not because you put hierarchy. That means I'm the boss, that's why you accept. They will say yes to you when you have 3 things from them. One is the relationship that you built. And the second one is you give a certainty, which means that, yes, what I'm saying is going to work. And the third one is you motivate people to say, take actions on that. That's why if you want to build a relationship, reciprocity, liking, and unity principle has to be there. Now, only relationship will not make somebody to say yes. Just because he is my brother, he is my father, or he is my mother, he is not going to say yes to whatever I say. You have to use social proof and authority, which will make them to say yes. Now, you have built a relationship, you have reduced the uncertainty, but still people don't commit to you for saying yes. That's where you must use consistency and scarcity as principle. That's the one which I'm talking about. Now you might say, how do I apply this? That's where what we are talking about, 4 case studies that you're going to get. The first case study is about how a big company like McDonald's increased dessert sales by 55%. And the second one is about 100% more agreement with just a 5 word. I'm going to give you 5 words, and you see you appropriately use this, you will get phenomenal results. That's what I'm saying. And I'm also going to give you one more. How you can get 150% more yes by changing one single word. Just one single word you change, you will get 150% more here. So what's that case study? We'll discuss about this. And the fourth one is going to be a fascinating case study. And that's why I kept it at the last. Even if I take 2-3 minutes extra, please stay there because you're going to get how one company was able to increase their market share by 300%. How L'Oreal, a cosmetic brand, introduced. Now, when you do this, I'll also tell you how you can apply this in your situation. And that's where the magic is going to happen on that. Okay, let's start with the first case study. The first case study is about a McDonald's. How McDonald's increased their sales by 55%. I'll also promise you once I talk about this case study, I'll also give you how to apply this in your situation. Now, the first one is McDonald's is a big company. If you look at it, McDonald's has got a lot of product, but predominantly it's about the burger, it's about the Coke, and that's it major. And maybe French fries is what they do. But apart from that, they also have something called the cookies. They also have a dessert, so many things. But the challenge was that they were not selling any other product other than these three major. Then they called the people to understand how do we increase the sales. Now, Steve Martin, who is an influence at work in UK, he visited 600 stores in America. He did a 4-week study across 32 restaurants as well. And he came out with one simple solution. And that solution helped them to increase their sales by 55%. I'm sure you would be interested to know what this solution is all about. And the moment I say, wow, this is interesting. But they had various things like McFlurry, and McFlurry Twix, and M&M and Oreo and all that. All that they did was one group of people, they said at the end of placing their order, would you like a dessert? And the second group, they added just one line. The second group, they said, would you like a dessert? And McFlurry is our customer's favorite here. Just by adding this one sentence, McFlurry is our customer's favorite here. And the sales increased by 55%. You might say, what's a so big difference? What are you talking about? When people are uncertain about deciding what they want to do, they want a social proof. And by adding this one sentence, they said McFlurry is our customer's favorite. They got a nudge to decide on this product. And just because of this, you are able to increase by 55% sales. Not just that, they also added a lot of sales by adding toppings. You know what they said? They said, would you like to order a dessert? McFlurry is the most favorite, and Oreo is the most popular that most of our customers choose. Just by adding this one line, they were also able to increase their sales of toppings by 48%. Imagine a 48% increase in sales will increase to what a phenomenal profit. What is that they did? Only one sentence change. And I'm sure you might say, how do I apply this? All that what you have to do is that if you are doing some training, some course or anything which is there, or as I say, college which is there, if you want to influence to do something, just use this simple thing there. Think of the most popular product or the services that you can communicate to customers and tell them when they are not very confident about taking a decision, you can just say one sentence. You say, for example, sir, in our institution, the most popular course is MBA, or in our institute, the most popular course is something like this. That will actually help them to take a decision. If you are in financial business, somebody like LIC agent or any other company which is there, you can say, if you own family-owned businesses here, is what most of the family businesses use this product. You can also say, supposing if you are a real estate agent who is selling a big properties or something, you can also just to nudge that, you can say, here is what most of the families with 4 members choose. And I'm sure if you go to retail business, they use this technique to nudge you. They say current trend is about this color and this design for those who, ladies who go buy inside. Supposing if you ask a customer, if you ask a shop owner, what is the choice which I have to wear for a shirt or something for a meeting? And if he uses that simple word, so the current trend is that most of the people choose the blue stripe color as the shirt, and immediately we all decide. This is what you can make a simple change in your communication by saying what is the most popular and what is appreciated. They would buy this. That's how the first case study is what I'm saying. Okay. Now, the second one is what I said 100% more agreement with just the 5 words. What is this 5 words? I'm sure all of you would agree with me. All of you would agree with me that every day there is a sale which is happening. Somebody or the other is buying every day. In fact, people buy on Amazon, people go to mall and buy, people go and buy, people enjoy buying. In fact, tell me, there is no other person actually who doesn't enjoy buying. People love to buy precious things. People like to buy crores of rupees in terms of car, house, everything. But nobody want to be sold. That is where the most important thing happens. They don't want to be sold. They don't want to be pushed. They don't want to be cornered. The moment you say to anybody, even for you, if somebody tries to push us, we all take a backseat and say, I'm not interested. The moment you put up pressure, people will retaliate as well. So, how do you handle the situation? The best case study is what we are going to discuss. There was an analysis of 48 separate studies that added these 5 words to various requests. And the result was phenomenal. And what is that 5 words? As I said, nobody wants to be sold, nobody wants to be pushed, everybody wants to buy. So what is that we can do is one simple trick. One simple trick is you can say these 5 words, but you are free to choose. That's all the 5 words, but you are free to choose. Kaivacha, how does this work? Let me give you one explanation. There was a study which was done as a study, survey study which was done. A surveyor went to an area and he said, we are doing a survey here to understand the impact of the pollution in this place. And we have a form. However, it is up to you whether you'd like to participate or not. And the result is you got 100% responses there. Now, in fact, you might say, all that they said is, of course, it's up to you. In fact, you can also do this not only after you make a request, you can also use this before the request. You can say, we are doing a survey. It's up to you whether you'd like to be a part of this survey or not. But the survey is about pollution in this area. And even this request also makes it to be. What is this happening here is basically you're giving a free time or free choice for people to do. Now you might say, all this is good here, but how do I apply? How can I apply this small big for your success? It can be applied in various situations. In fact, you can apply this in sales, you can apply this donation if you're connecting, or you can also apply this when you want somebody to do extra work. Try this from today. Supposing if you are in sales, you make a presentation about your offer, and finally you say, sir, I'm sure you have various choices. I'm sure you're going to make a decision. but it's up to you to decide which one would be the appropriate to you. And they would definitely consider what you're saying, that because you give them a free choice, you did not push them. In fact, the donation, you can definitely say, in this difficult times, we are asking a donation because we want to help the poor. But it's up to you whether you'd like to donate or not. That's how you can use this. And if you want somebody to do an extra work, you can say, look, we have a very important assignment to be done by tomorrow. I want you to do some extra work. But however, it's up to you whether you would like to do this or not. And you do this, and you see the magic happens there. And in fact, you make it as a practice wherever it is there and see how it works there. Let me give you one example. It's up to you, that's one, but you can use the similar phrase. You're free to choose is what you can say. You can also say any other phrase that you're free to decide is also where you can use. If you do this, I'm sure you're going to get the positive response. All of us are working towards getting yes from so far. Okay, wonderful. That's about a 2 case study. I've taken about 26 minutes so far. Can I get a quick response from all of you and see how is the session going on? If you say it's going on very well, give me a thumbs up in the chat or say yes in the chat. Okay? Can we get some responses there? Let me see what's the response I get so that I also know. Very good. That's a lovely one. Very good. So many yeses there. That's very good. That's a lovely one. Very good. Fantastic. Fantastic. Very good. Okay. I have one more question. Is my speed okay so far? If you say yes, give me one thumbs up, please, so that I can see. Hey, wonderful. That's a lovely guy. Lovely guy. Very good. I'll come back to you on the questions then. Let me complete the other 2 parts. Okay. And then go to the next one. Yeah. Okay. Let me share you the screen once again. Let me go back to my screen sharing. Okay. Wonderful. Wonderful. It's up to you is what you're saying. You're going to free to choose. And the 3rd case study. This is one more phenomenal case study that I'll lot do. It's about how these people get 150% more agreement with just one word change. As I promised you, when with small changes that deliver big results. What is the small change that you're doing? You're changing a word, you're changing a phrase, you're changing a sequence. And if you apply this, you will get phenomenal results. This is based on 7 key principles. Let me share you the 3rd case study there. Daniel Kahneman is a Nobel Prize winner. If you get this book of Daniel Kahneman, you will find that he uses something called a System 1 and System 2 thinking. But whatever it is there, but let's get into the context here. The context is that according to him, prospect of losing something of value is twice motivating to get people to take action than the prospect of gaining the very same thing. Now let me repeat once again. The prospect of losing something of value is twice as motivating to get people to take action than the prospect of gaining the very same thing. What is the meaning? If you tell somebody that what you're going to be losing is going to motivate the other person twice, then if you say what he's going to gain. And that's a very interesting theory, isn't it? Let's see how this is applied here. Now, there was this home energy study was done. What is this home energy study? They went to a place where they have this winter or whatever it is there. They said to all the people, look, we are going to do a study. We are going to do an audit. And at the end of audit, we will tell you how much of insulation is required or how much of insulation that you need to remove. That will actually tell you that you will save so much of energy or whatever it is. So people said, that's wonderful, dear. Go ahead and do whatever it is there. We have no problem. Do the study and give me the audit or something. They did the audit. At the end of the audit is done, when they did the reporting, there were two group of people who were there. One group of people went to SOEM houses and said, if you do this insulation or add this insulation, you are actually going to save $1 per day. You're, you're actually wasting a lot of things there, but you will save $1 per day. And there were a good number of people who accepted, but they made a one word small change. They said, if you do this after the energy study, they said, if you do whatever we are saying, recommendation, you would not lose $1 per day. One is a saving, which is a gain, and one is a loss, which they said. The moment when they said you're not going to lose, the result was that 150% of the people said, wow, I don't want to lose so much. And that's why they said yes to that request. Now, why does this happen? Basically, people don't want to lose many things. And now you might say, how do I apply this? Very simple. If you look at all of your product and service, or even that request, what your name, all that you have to tell them is the other person, if you don't accept my request, not what he is going to gain, but what he is going to lose. I can apply this in various situations. I'm sure you would have all seen this, correct? Bonus is only for 7 days. We all have run there and gone there and bought something, correct? And you would have seen the statement. If you miss this, you are not going to get this. Correct? And I'm sure there was a study which I say there was a last day of a hotel and people jumped into that hotel because it's the last day, because that hotel was there in Bangalore for 60 years. Just because I don't get an opportunity to taste the same idli which he had tasted for so many times. And how many times we all have gone to a shop just because they put up board saying that the last day offer. I'm sure in the last month when that Black Friday offer was there, all paper were flooded with these advertisements saying that the last day offer before 12 o'clock, and we all went there and did. Because human psychology is that we are not concerned about what we are going to gain, we are concerned about what we are going to lose. And that's why it's important to tell. I'm not saying anything wrong, but I'm only saying please communicate to people that if you don't do what I'm asking you, what is that you're going to lose? That will motivate them to take an action on that. So wonderful. Now the fascinating fourth case study is what I'm going to discuss. This fourth case study is about how a L'Oreal increased their market share by 300%. Now, what is the meaning of L'Oreal increased the market share? And L'Oreal is a cosmetics brand. And at one point of time, this was one of the most costliest brand which was available in the market. Now, how do you increase? The best thing which we do is that there is the formula for credibility. Credibility is equal to authority plus trustworthiness. If people have to believe you, if you want to come across as credible person, you should have an authority, expertise that is fair enough. But you should also, when you say something, people should believe you. But how can you make somebody to believe you? I'm going to tell you something about this case study. There is one case study which said Avis and Hertz. They said we are number two, but we try harder. That motivates people. But let's come to our case study, what we are talking about, that the L'Oreal. L'Oreal used one phenomenal, iconic statement. And that statement is even today it is used. And they did so much increase in the sales. What is that sentence? L'Oreal was expensive, but they used the sentence saying that L'Oreal, we are expensive, but you are worth it. Just because of this one phrase, they were able to increase their sales by 300%. You might say, why did this work? The reason is that most of us are told not to put up the negative upfront. But what they did, L'Oreal, was they put the negative upfront, but they used the contrast to say, but you're worth it. How many times we were all told at many places, don't show your negative things, don't show your weaknesses to people. But if you don't show weakness, if you don't tell truth about what is the weakness, then how do you expect somebody to believe you? And that's why this one statement made a 300% market share. But you might say, how do I apply this in my business? I tell you, there are hundreds of ways that you can apply this. Let me give you some examples there. Okay? You can say if you are a startup company, you can say startup costs are not the lowest. However, because of efficiency, you will be able to recoup them in next 2 months. You say we are premium, nothing wrong, correct? And you also say, I'm sure a lot of people in your company will go to, in your colleges, anything. You say, I don't have an experience of your industry, but I'm going to invest my time to understand more about your challenges there. Now, that's where I also say sometimes. In fact, recently somebody was asking me, do you have an experience in this industry? I said the same sentence. I don't have an experience in this industry, but I'm a fast learner. And that made the difference in my communication there. So nothing wrong in putting the negative up front. And that's how you'll be able to do it. I'm sure people will ask you, correct? When you ask something, how do you say this? You say very clearly, do you run faster? No, I don't run faster, but I can definitely reach the destination there. That's how you can use the sentence. Use but at the appropriate stage. In fact, how many times people said to us that don't use the language of but if, however, because that's going to be a negative. But I'm saying no, you can use but in an appropriate place. That's going to make a difference to you. Now, that's about the 4 case study that I said. If you look at all of these things, what we discussed so far, I said about there are 7 key principles from Dr. Robert Cialdini, who is considered as the godfather of influence. If you want to buy this book, just type in the Amazon that influence by Dr. Robert Cialdini. It's about 450 rupees or something on a Kindle version, and it's worth investing as well. And the second thing is about, we said about 7 key principles. That's one key principle is about what we said is the reciprocity, liking, unity, and then authority and the authority and the social proof, and then consistency and the scarcity. Now, based on what you want to achieve from the other person, you can use these 7 principles in combination or in isolation. But however, if you think that you want to build up a relationship with the people before you make a request, use 3 principles. That's reciprocity, give them first, like them, second one. The second one is about liking. When you genuinely like, you will not cheat him, you will not deceive him, is what I'm saying. And the third one is use the principle of unity. That means collaborate, cooperate with people. But relationship is very good. but people are not believing me. Use your authority. That is about credibility, trustworthiness to get these things. But if you say authority is good, but then give a social proof, people will buy, people will accept when you see other people are doing the similar thing. And that's why it's appropriate to use the social proof. Then you say, I've got a good relationship, I've got a consistency, I've got a uncertainty is reduced, but then people are not taking action. Use the principle of consistency or the commitment, because once they commit, they don't want to go back on this. And the last one is use the scarcity in a positive way, which will motivate them to take an action on this. Now, this is used by 4 case study. What I discussed about the McDonald's, I discussed about the energy saving case study, and I also discussed about the L'Oreal, and I also discussed about the service study which was there. This institute has got phenomenal things where you can do everything is about science application and the ethics which is there. What is the meaning of ethics? No force, no pressure, no coercion, no manipulation, no hierarchy. Still get it. Now, I have one question to all of you. In the past 1 hour or 45 minutes, would you agree that this time has been well invested so far? Say yes, no on the chat. Very good. Wonderful. Now, the next question to all of you is that how many of you feel that there is a lot more to learn when it comes to implementing this knowledge? And how many of you realize that by not learning this principle, applying the same, you are trying the old ways and not getting result what you want? When I say result, only result is we want people to say yes to more often to us. And one small big investment that you read a book or you do something about this, that is going to give a big outcome is what I say. I want to know what's your questions, please, and that will help me to do this. We still have 3 minutes. I'm very happy that I stick to my timing as well. Okay, thank you so much. Very good, wonderful. Go ahead.
Thank you, sir, for the wonderful presentation. Now I request our dear participants, if you have any query, please come ahead and discuss with Honorable Sir, dear participants.
Wonderful. Shah has raised a hand. Shah, you can go ahead and ask your question. Yeah, you can communicate, whatever you want to communicate. You can also put it on the chat. I would be very happy to answer. What happened? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, anyone who want to discuss, anybody who want to ask any question, I would be very, very happy to answer. Yeah. Yeah. That's good. Priyanka, yeah. How many we have? Oh, we have 52 people. Anybody can ask a question. Okay. Prashant, you want to ask your question? Go ahead and ask one question. Then the others will get motivated to ask.
I don't have any question. Yeah. But your presentation is so excellent, sir, because it is a new term we learned today, that how to be win from the small things. Now, this is a wonderful message to do in apply in any field. Definitely, there will be success.
Very good.
So,
very good. Wonderful.
This is a new lesson for us in your lecture today, sir. Thank you so much for the presentation.
Very good. Wonderful. Balwant, you want to ask a question? Balwant, go ahead. You're on mute.
Dr. Swanand Shukla, sir.
Yeah, Swanand Shukla, sir. Go ahead. Sir, you're on mute, sir.
Dr. Hello, Balwant. Good evening, sir. Baker, sir, Principal, sir, Prashant, sir. And so wonderful presentation, and really you enlightened us, the small things can make a big changes. So that is a wonderful presentation what you have made with your illustrations. So there are no questions, but yes, definitely, many of the times we try to achieve something big, and we lost in nowhere. So usually it happens like this, but I think that small steps towards the success is always very important. So wonderful presentation. So thank you very much for your great presentation. Thank you.
Yeah. And I also, doctor, this also applies to many places as a doctor. I think we all know authority is about when you put a stethoscope, whatever you say, we agree on this. That's the authority signal, is what I say.
I belong to the field, and we believe in the minute doses, small doses, and they are making a big
Absolutely, doctor. Absolutely, doctor.
Today's lecture with my science itself. Thank you.
Thank you. It's a psychology of persuasion is what we spoke. Wonderful.
Yes,
yeah.
Dr. M.K. Jain, sir. You have raised your hand. Please ask.
Sir, first of all, very excellent lecture, I think. After a long time. But one clarification I need, sir, that in one slide you shows that if we add trustworthiness in authority, authority plus trustworthiness, that was said, I think. But if we prefer trustworthiness, I think there is no need of authority. I think so.
Yeah. Okay. That's a good question, doctor. My only point is what I'm saying is that when somebody like L'Oreal, like big company, how do they build trust when they are expensive or something? That's where I give that example. But people, when they trust, they will say yes to anything what you say. That's what I will say.
Right,
the moment people trust you, okay, they will say yes to everything.
That's clear now.
Yeah, that's where I say, doctor. Okay, wonderful, doctor. Thank you so much for asking that question. Very good. Anybody else would like to ask one more question? Yes, Shwetaji, you want to ask something?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Excellent presentation. Very interesting, sir. And I was only thinking, like, if we get these tips and we can apply it in our day-to-day life, we are going to benefit a lot.
Yes, absolutely. I completely agree with you. Doctor, there are two things that you can do. One is you connect me on the LinkedIn as well, or in the group itself, I'll post my LinkedIn group. You can connect me. But also, doctor, it is just what we saw in 45 minutes is the tip of the iceberg. We have an ethical influence as a certification course where you become a certified course. You can practice this on a regular basis there, because not just knowing, but it's also about practicing. I would be very happy to share if you are interested in this as well. Yes, doctor. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining, doctor. Thank you so much for joining, Shwetaji. Yeah. Anybody else would like to ask any questions? Yeah.
I think there is no question, sir, because the term you explained so nicely, clearly, in a simple language, systematically, step by step, pointed out everything. So thank you so much, Dr. Swanand Shukla, sir, and also Dr. M.K. Jain, sir, and Shweta madam for your appreciation. Now I request the chief organizer of the series, our ideal principal, M. Ambedkar, sir. So please come ahead and have
session. Doctor, just before you conclude, I want to say something. I know that you are all working in a college and institution, and I know how the students study as well. But only for the students, if you want me to do some half-a-day session or something, I would do it without any charge. That's my promise. Okay? Because it is something to give back to the society. And that's what you're doing, a good cause. I want to contribute to that good cause. All that we have to do is to finalize one date or something. And 4 hours where they would like to learn many things on how to influence others in an ethical way is what they will get, because we only talked about 4, but we can talk about the entire thing is what I'm saying. It could be any profession, but if you tell me what is the target segment, I can customize even the case studies accordingly and share with you is what I'm saying. Okay? That's my request. If it is MBA, different. If it is doctor, if it is different, we can do anything for that. That's how I would say. Thank you so much, Doctor.
Thank you, Krishna ji, sir. Where you get information of this dais, I don't know. But we are very fortunate that you joined with us with your best
Doctor,
session.
I'll tell you who recommended. There is one Malti Pillai who did a session on happiness.
Yes.
She introduced this to you, sir.
Yes.
To me, sir.
Yes, thank you.
And the credit goes to Malti ji. That's
yes.
all.
First of all, thank you to Malti madam and again to you,
Yeah.
sir. After your speech, there is no need to give any comment on that, because your experience, your examples, and sticking to the simple topic, you have made it very great. And thank you for assuring us that you are willing to join with our student to motivate them. It's a best speech, and we still eager to listen to you more times. And today when you are closing that your speech with your time at 45 minutes, we become shocked that how 45 minutes have listened from you. So it was very nice. And one live example I would like to give, which is in front of me. By seeing your watching your video, means that live, every day what happens, very few staff joins in this webinar series. I don't know what are the reasons, because it's from last 3 years. I don't force them to join them. They were saying that this is regular activity, what we can join, and as a principal I can't force to anyone, because those who are interested, they join. But I did one message, just you are listening, I will read it. It will be better to join today. I am listening live, just I have sent on my mobile. Okay, it's better join today. It will be better join today. Session is interesting. Decide. It's up to your choice. Thanks. And tremendously more persons have joined today. So it's the live example and proof of your speech and the power of your words, sir. Thank you.
Absolutely, sir. Thank you so much. It's so fast implementation. I'm so happy about it, sir.
Thank
you. Wonderful. Yes, sir.
Thank you to
Thank you so much, sir.
All participants. Shukla sir, Devri Singh sir, Shaji, Shweta madam, all participants, those who are joined here, they are very lucky that they get something new and useful and implementable thing today from us and in our life. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Doctor, I have one more session, which I say the whole world is about how to ask good questions. And whenever there is the next slot which is available, please block me for the art and science of asking questions. And I promise you, once they attend, they would say one of the best sessions that they have attended, because wherever I have done this program, there is no failure. And this is going to be applied for everybody, how to ask good questions. The reason is, doctor, the reason is that people don't ask questions because they were all rewarded throughout their life for answering and not for asking. Okay. And that's where they don't learn this art of asking questions. I would be happy to do one session which would really motivate people to ask good questions from this. Thank you, doctor. Yeah.
So thank you so much, Honorable Principal Sir. Now I move towards the vote of thanks. But before I just quote these lines, great acts are made up always of small deeds. Now today's session, which have covered by Honorable Dr. Krishna sir, who talked upon the topic win with small things that delivers big result. Now, Honorable Krishna sir have started his lecture with a small what the scientist says and different case studies. What are the books gives the lessons in everybody's life to win from the small things in everybody's life. This topic have expressed so nicely, so sincerely, clearly in a simple words. So I definitely lucky in today's session that Krishna sir have joined to the session, and I heard new techniques, new words from Krishna sir. Sir have expressed so nicely, and really we are lucky that to see your presentation in today's session. It was very impressive, sir. So thank you so much on behalf of the organizing committee member in the series, which is organized by Shri Kumarswami Mahavidyalaya Ausa. Now also thanks the Honorable Principal M.M. Bedkar sir. Also thanks faculty members of my college, Dr. Sanjay Kale sir, Dr. Jabavat Rao Kadam sir, Praveen Vidge sir, Honorable Dr. Gogre sir, and others. Heartily thanks Dr. Shah sir, Dr. Swanand Shukla sir, Dr. M.K. Jain sir, and also Malti Pillai madam, who introduced today's keynote speaker, Honorable Krishna sir, to deliver a wonderful speech in World Record Series 2. So, specially thanks all those participants who join the series regularly and encourages us. You people are there, so we are moving forwards. And I'm sure that you are supporting us, and we will be covered not 1,000 but definitely 2,000 sessions in the coming days. So thank you so much, Krishna sir. Really, we are very happy to learn these 7 universal principles of persuasions, because there is a need of persuasions to everybody's life, to success in his life. So thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Once again, now I declare the session is over, but kind request to you all, fill the feedback link which is given in the chat box. So thank you so much once again.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Any help, anytime, please call up to me, sir. I would be very happy to do that.
Yes,
Thank
sir,
you.
definitely.
Thank you. Yeah.
We will keep this for 5 minutes for filling the feedback link. You can leave and take rest, sir. Thank you.
No problem, sir, but I'm very happy and excited here. But that's where we will do. Is that some link? Oh, which is link is given here. Wonderful. Very good. Very good. Wonderful. 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 Oh, I did see the chat, but a lot of people have expressed their happiness in the chat as well. That's what I see. Okay. And thank you so much. I'm also very happy equally. I got energized at 9 o'clock. That's what I say. That's a lovely thing.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Very perfectly you are finishing. It's a good sign that speech should be within given time, and it should be. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Absolutely, sir.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Sir, please let me know any help from my side. I would be very, very happy.
Definitely.
You're doing a novel cause, and I'm going to be a part of this, is what I say. And at the moment, I don't require any money. God has given me everything. From your side, this is only giving back. Institution to institution, giving back. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Your words are very precious, sir. Your lesson is very precious in today's session. You have paid a lot of money to us from your lectures. So we have filled our stomach with money. So thank you so much. Thank you, sir. You can move and take rest, sir.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.